Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chat. I'm Chloe.
I am Will, and welcome to our spooky episode.
Yes, happy Halloween, troopers. So we're getting in spooky spirit, and we thought we'd do like a sort of Halloweeny episode for you guys. Last year we did one on the Night Sisters of Dathomir, like the witches in Star Wars.
Did we just do the witches?
We did, yeah. So we thought this year do something a bit different, and we're going to be discussing Abeloth and the Death Troopers novel.
Yes, you know I like
which is like zombie stormtroopers.
Yes, which they sort of brought into Ahsoka, but we will be mentioning that later. We do have some news, some figure reveals, which I'm looking forward to. Some of them look pretty cool. But yeah, just before we get going, something that I just remembered before we went live. So, one of the new comics that we announced that they sort of showcased at San Diego Comic-Con recently, like last year, with all the new novels and that. There's the Battle of Jakku novel comic series. I think it's called the Battle of Jakku, but it's about the final days of the thing. And there's what I find really interesting about it is, so just quickly, I've seen some people do some videos about the first issue of it, and there is stuff in it that connect to the Battlefront 2 campaign. So apparently in this first issue, we see the red protocol holo droid that has Palpatine's face in it.
That's cool.
So you see that, and it mentions Operation Cinder, which also is in the game. There's also a bit where it's it shows Luke after that mission in Battlefront 2 where he goes and gets the compass from the vault. So that's quite cool. And apparently it also shows that after Return of the Jedi, what's his name? Bib Fortuna had taken over. Diwanawanga had taken over Jabba as Daimyo. So he was Daimyo for quite a little while, apparently. So yeah, something quite interesting. Just might have to give that comic a bit of a read. So yeah. Also as well, there is references in it to characters from the Aftermath novels. Okay. So this comic is actually connecting quite a few different medias within Star Wars, which I think is quite cool.
That's good. Yeah.
So very cool. We're going to crack on with today's episode.
Yay.
We have our first proper looks at some hot toy, sorry. Savage Opress from the Clone Wars. Look at that. Look at the detail on his face. I think that might be one of the best face sculpts I've seen on a hot toy. He looks so cool, evil as well. Look at the detail on the horns.
But also though, Savage, he's only known in the Clone Wars. There's never been a live action version of him. So this is really cool how they've managed to make up a realistic face for him, and it actually I could picture this being in a movie,
it's very well done.
Look so good.
Like I said, you can see every little bit of wrinkle and lines on his face. Look at the details on his horns. He does have two. What I like is he has two different face sculpts as well.
Oh, okay.
So this face sculpt and arm is after he meets Kenobi, or after he has that conflict with Kenobi, where he loses his arm and Kenobi chops off his horns.
Yeah.
So here we have a better full pressure. He is very tall as well, by the way. So yeah, as you can see here, he's got the robot arm, horns missing. evil face. Looks very
That's
cool.
really cool.
And then here we have a comparison. Oh, sorry, here it is. So look, so you can have him with the full horns and his normal arm.
Or like the broken.
And you can even have him with like his axe that he gets before he gets the lightsabers. And then here's a comparison of Savage with Darth Maul.
Wow.
So it's approximately 340 centimeters tall.
Wow.
I do think this is a really cool photo though. Like, that looks like Ray Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though it's Clone Wars, that still looks really realistic.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Very cool.
Very cool. So I know we showed the leak photo. Did we show it? I don't know if we showed it. I think we mentioned it.
But
yeah. So
it's a lot clearer.
Yeah. Very cool. I really like it. Looks awesome.
I didn't realise that Savage was that much taller than
yeah. Well, once he had that infusion where he became Savage, he became massive.
Yeah.
Because you think how easily he throws everyone around, when they're fighting him. He's a monster. We have some figure reveals, some Black Series ones to start us off with. This is quite a cool one. Sebulba.
So from the Phantom Menace. Sebulba, and he comes with the little frog as well that that Jar Jar eats and then accidentally flicks it in his soup.
Yeah.
And then
Chuba.
Yeah, he comes up to him and he's like, "This is yours." So that's quite cool. And he does have the little goggles as well, but you don't have to have him wearing the goggles. You can have him without as well.
Well, if you wanted a pod racer look of him, put the goggles on. If you want a knot, give him the little frog. Interesting figure, very cool. We've got a Savage figure, Black Series
figure, yeah.
This one doesn't have as much customizable bit, but it's a Black Series. It's not meant to really.
Yeah.
But you can have him with his axe or double lightsaber. Very cool. Not as cool as the Hot Toy, I will admit, but
it's a lot cheaper.
A lot.
This will be £25 or something. I mean, maybe a bit more because it is a bigger figure. It's massive, but the Hot Toys, you're not going to see any change out of £300-400 for that.
Yeah, he's a lot of money.
Yeah.
We have Luminara Nduli from Attack of the Clones.
Very cool.
I mean, her look doesn't really change much from the Clone Wars to Revenge of the Sith, so.
And also, she was in the Battle of Geonosis as well, so, if you have, a little display, and you have, Padme and Anakin and some clankers, and then you've got Luminara, maybe Mace Windu,
You could set up a little battle scene,
That'd be very cool.
Yeah. We have Shakti from Attack of the Clones again. Another one you can have
in the Geonosis display.
But again, you can use it for, Revenge of the Sith if you want to do Grievous taking Palpatine. You could
even. I mean, they haven't made a 5's Black Series yet, as far as I'm aware. But if they did, then you could have 5's and her, and sort of because she was in the Ark with all the chips and stuff.
Well, I think he has a reg armor on, so you could almost pretend it's 5's.
Yeah,
in the armor. Yeah. But you could also just have her with red clones on Kamino. Because she obviously oversaw the training. Yeah. Very cool though. I do
like Shakti, and I think it's about time we got a Shakti figure because I don't think there's many of them.
Well, she keeps bloody dying, doesn't she? They keep killing her off in Mida. They killed her off in the Force Unleashed game.
I know. Yeah.
They killed her off in the Clone Wars through a Force vision.
I always thought she looked
deleted
really cool.
scenes. There was 2 different deleted scenes.
True.
That
she looks really cool though, and I like how long her leku is, and I wonder if you can move them about. Maybe a little bit.
I think they look quite in place, but like not like solidly. Like
Yeah.
you can't move them, but I think they are like you can exactly like put them behind her or something.
No.
Like put like time up.
Mhm.
So we have some vintage collection. So we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Legend. It says underneath.
Yep.
So this is his look
From the
from
series.
which I think is always quite cool.
Yeah.
This is him, like, you know, when he goes, or when he sees when he sees Qui-Gon, the Force Ghost.
Yeah, like sort of at the end, and he's got his goggles on as well, so it's like when he goes to see Luke.
Yes.
And he goes, "Hello there."
Yeah, it's very cool. Here we have him in action.
Yes. So you also there was other pics, but I don't want to put too many. But you can have the goggles on his head, like on top of his head. You can have them on his eyes, or you can have them like dangling around his neck like a necklace.
That's quite cool.
So that's quite cool. And he's got the option to use a lightsaber as well.
Very cool.
So
well, we might see this look more if they do a season 2.
I really hope so.
And you know, he has teased it.
Yeah.
He has teased it that they are looking at doing it. So that'd be very cool.
Yeah.
And he did say as well in that panel that he did that he was saying about he wants to wear the Clone Wars armor. Oh, that would be such a cool flashback to see him and like we've seen Hayden in it. They can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fingers crossed. We have Yord, Jedi Knight Yord Fanda from the Acolyte.
Cool.
We were a bit of a fan of Yord, wasn't it?
Because yeah, I was a bit sad when he
when he goes neck snapped. Oh my god.
And Jackie as well. It was the same episode, and I was fuming.
Jackie, those two mine were so brutal because it's like I knew that like Jedi were gonna die in that episode. You just knew it, but like I didn't expect to kill them. Like for them to kill off every one of them.
No.
And that death as well for Jackie, where it was like, choo, choo, choo. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
No.
But yeah, very cool.
And he does come with his little cape.
his little robe. Well, it's not there in the box in that picture.
No,
but then it's there. Same with like Kenobi. Oh no, Kenobi's wearing it, but like.
Yeah, I guess it's like behind him.
Where's his robe?
I don't know. But I do like, obviously, in the Acolyte, a lot of them have the yellow lightsabers, and it's not something that we're used to seeing. So it's nice to have some figures with yellow sabers as well. Yeah,
and if you've sort of got a little collection going, then you know.
Yeah.
We have Lieutenant Callahan. She was one of the New Republic E-wing fighter pilots. I will admit, I did quite like her helmet. I thought the whole blue, looked blue and gold looked really nice.
And her helmet on this figure actually looks quite cool. Like you can have her sort of position holding it as well.
But yeah, no, I mean it's not the most popular of characters, but you know, like I said, I do like the helmet of hers. Like, I don't know what it is, but that just like blue and gold. Like,
is that cool?
Like the look of it, even though it's like the old, I think as well because it's like the old X-wing pilot helmet. I like that shape of it. I don't like the New Republic like fighter like or pilot helmet.
Yeah.
It's just the shape of it looks a bit weird. But,
yeah. I do like that one.
So there she is in action.
I think her hair is quite detailed as well. She's got like sort of like a braid going on. But...
It's quite cool because you know, I can't obviously I don't know the actress who played her, but you know she doesn't have like a major role in the show. She has like a couple of minutes or cameos, if that. You know, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're doing a figure of you. You know?
Yeah.
That must be quite cool for her. So.
Yeah, because they you know, they need to make figures of everyone. Like, if anyone wants to create a scene,
If anyone would like to create a 501st vintage collection of 501st Comchat, I wouldn't have mind. Can you imagine that? A little vintage collection, and the packet is just like me and you sat.
I mean, take like the Cantina
Yeah.
set, for example. Like, a lot of the figures they're making are just like background characters. You see them for less than a second, but like they're still part of the scene. So I think it does look cool for like displays.
Yeah. So going on to the Bitty Pops, we have a new wave, and this time these are the Empire Strikes Back Bitty Pops. So we had the New Hope ones. I don't know what the mystery ones are for this series, but we'll just go over the ones that you can get. So we have Luke, I believe it is, in Hoth gear. R2D2, Princess Leia in Bespin. We have Princess Leia in.
Is that in their like snow outfit with like white jacket or something? I can't remember.
It might be. It almost looks like a dress, though, doesn't it? Let's have a little look.
No.
Oh, maybe that's the one that she arrives in Bespin on.
Yeah.
And then that's the one that she changes into it, you know, before the dinner. Snow Trooper.
Snow Trooper looks quite cute.
It's a bit weird, that one. It's a bit of like that in Funko is a bit weird, that, isn't it? Boba Fett, obviously. We have Han Solo. Wampa. Yeah. I want a Wampa. They should give him one arm.
Yeah.
That should be a chase version.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Wampa with one arm. If they do like the proper one, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
And we got Dagobah Yoda. We got Darth Vader. Pretty standard one, isn't it? We've got Lando, and we have Luke.
I wonder if that Vader is like a mini version of yours, because your one's from Empire.
Yes.
Might be.
I think. Yeah, because mine's like the bit where he's like joy. Because mine's, I think, called the Force version or something. I can't remember, but okay. I really like that pose of Vader anyway. So it's cool. So yeah, next episode we'll try and find out what the mystery ones are.
Yeah.
So we can let you guys know, because I'd imagine they're going to be quite cool.
Yeah.
Because if I remember right, for the New Hope ones, there was Tarkin, I think, was one. I think the guy Gary that you did.
Yeah, Grindon.
Yeah, Grindon, Gary. I'm trying to remember. I want to say like Jawa, but there was like 4 of them. They were quite cool. So yeah, that's it for the figure reveals.
Yeah.
But like I said, next episode we'll try and find out the mystery ones.
It's a bit of a jump scare.
Hey, it's Halloween.
I know.
It's spooky.
Sorry guys if Will scared you by that picture. So
sorry, there we go. Are you ready? Are you happy now? Did that scare you? I'm sorry.
So this here is Abeloth. So a lot of you people might have heard of Abeloth, but I think not a lot of people know the story behind her. There is a lot to this, so I'm just sort of gonna touch on like her part of the story, because it's part of a book series called The Fate of the Jedi. But there's a lot of characters to go into and all that, so I'm just gonna talk about her rather than like explaining too many people, you know.
Oh, by the way, can I just say,
yeah,
I have just found the like extra ones.
Oh, the mystery.
Mystery ones.
Okay, right? Let's go back.
So, do you want to have a guess? So they're all from Empire, obviously.
The Bitty Pops.
Yeah. So they're all from Empire. So one's there that aren't there. There's 1, 2. No. So 1, 2. Okay. Sorry. Go on, have a guess.
Have a guess. Empire ones. Maybe IG-11? No, IG-88, sorry.
No.
Bosk?
Yes.
Hmm?
Bosk is one of the mystery ones.
Okay. Zuckus? I'm going for all the bounty hunters.
There's no more bounty hunters, I'll
Okay,
say that.
so just
help you out.
Bosk. Empire. Is there a Palpatine?
No.
No. Is there a Han Solo in Carbonite?
Yes. Good shout.
Is there one of those like pig dudes on Bespin?
No.
Okay.
I'll quickly say because it's a bit of a confusing one. This. So, and the other one is Han Solo Hoth.
Oh, okay. So
there is a Han Solo Hoth. But yeah, it's a bit confusing because it says here on the thing, the possible mystery Bitty Pop collectibles are hyper rare Han Solo, which is 1 out of 6.
Wow.
So Han Solo in Carbonite, 1 out of 6. Hyper rare Bosk, 1 out of 6. And then rare, 1 out of 3 is Han Solo and Hoth.
Oh.
So that's basically, by the looks of it, the 3 mystery ones. So Han Solo in Carbonite and Bosk are like a 1 in 6 chance, whereas Han Solo Hoth is a 1 in 3. So if you bought like those 4, you've probably got a good chance of getting a Bosk, not a Bosk, a Han Solo Hoth.
Huh.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No.
Sorry, my bad.
It's fine. I'd rather you say now rather than like
forgetting about it.
So Abeloth. She, like I said before, she's the antagonist of the Fate of the Jedi book series. She's also known as the Bringer of Chaos or the Destructor. But she wasn't always this creepy and this way. Okay. So she started out as the servant on a jungle planet with swamps, rivers, and a volcano. She was a normal, like, mortal woman. She wasn't anything different to like any of us, you know. So a lot of you guys may have seen the Clone Wars, and there's an arc in it called the Mortis arc, where Anakin and Kenobi and Ahsoka go on this planet called Mortis, and they meet 3 sort of godlike characters.
Entities.
Yeah. So you got the son, the daughter, and the father. So the son was the embodiment of the dark side. The daughter, there we go. Here's the picture of them. So the son was the embodiment of the dark side. The daughter was the embodiment of the light side, and the father was the embodiment of order between the 2. So, you know, whenever the son did something bad, or, you know, there was too much light in that planet, then the dad would sort of balance it out. So this Abeloth lady.
Hey, me was going on that one then.
So obviously she wasn't called Abeloth. I don't know what her actual name was.
We're going to call her Jane.
Jane.
This is Jane.
I mean, the father, the son, and the daughter don't even have names either. But basically, the father, the son, and the daughter, they're called the Ones. So I'm just going to call them the Ones from now. So they all lived on this jungle planet. And how the son became the embodiment of the dark side. You can skip it back again. There you go. It's a bit of a nicer picture to look at. So basically, the sun drank from the, what's it called? The font of power, which gave him that sort of dark sideness to him. And the daughter, she bathed in the pool of knowledge. So that turned her into like the light side.
So he had a drink, she had a bath.
Yeah. Things. So that is kind of how they got their powers. So these people lived on this jungle planet. There's no name for this planet. It's just a planet with jungles and volcanoes and rivers and everything. So then all of a sudden this lady turns up. Sorry for the jump scare, guys. But obviously she didn't look like this. She looked like a normal woman, and she was a servant on this planet. So she assisted this family, and eventually she became the mother. So she acted as like a mother figure to help the father bring order to the children, and she acted as like a wife to the father. But obviously years went on, and she started becoming quite old, and the others didn't age at all, because they have like these powers. So basically she feared so much that she would lose her life and her family. So basically, in a desperate attempt to like save her life, she did what the son and the daughter did. So she drank from the font of power, but she also bathed in the pool of knowledge as well. Yeah, pool of knowledge. I thought I had it wrong there.
So she's had the drink and a bath.
But because she was just a regular mortal woman, it sort of backfired, and she turned into this. So the actions corrupted her. She became a deformed, twisted, immortal entity known as Abeloth. So this here is Abeloth, this creepy lady with like all these teeth and like zombie eyes. So she was trying to like save her own life, become immortal, but instead it sort of backfired onto her. And she became highly powerful and mentally unstable. But Abeloth is an entity that can possess any form of life, so it's almost like a form of the Force that is like, essentially it's like what the opposite of the Father is. So it's like the embodiment of chaos. So you have like the light and the dark, and then the Father that's like the balance, keeping everything in order. But then she's like the opposite. So she is kind of a balance, but also she's just chaotic and more so towards the dark side, I would say. So yeah, and then basically when the father found out about what happened to her, he took the son and the daughter and departed from the planet, leaving her there stranded. Which of course only made her go more insane, because she's done all this to like keep her life with her family, and now she's turned into this like beastly creature. Like she had sort of like tentacles for her hands as well. And now she's lost them all together, and she's just on this planet by herself. The ones, they made plans with an insectoid species called Kilix, which is actually, funnily enough, from Alderaan.
Oh.
They look quite similar to like Geonosians, like sort of insect face and like a brown kind of color. So the ones and this Kilix species work together to make a sort of prison for Abeloth to live in. From what I've read, it's kind of like a sort of black hole kind of area. So they wanted to lock her away in the prison. However, every time there was a change in the Force, she managed to escape. So I think there was like a couple of times where she escaped, but every time they would find a way of like putting her back in there. I'm not really too sure much on it, how they went on it, but they managed to keep her like locked away for thousands and thousands of years. However, obviously the thing that happened in the Clone Wars where Anakin didn't want to become like the new father figure, and the daughter ended up dying, and the father ended up dying, and all that. So basically, like the ones ended up dying, and she was like imprisoned there. So Abeloth's influence could still be felt, calling to people through the Force and like tempting them with this like power, trying to get them to free her from this like black hole that she was stuck in. So basically she can plunge the galaxy into chaos. So that's kind of the story. There's a lot of like other characters that came into the books, and she called out to them and they tried to free her and all this, but I didn't want to go into it too much, but you can obviously find it online, or read the the Fate of the Jedi novels. But those novels are legends as well, so it's such a creepy photo, this.
I know. That's why I'm keeping it on it for a little bit.
Happy Halloween, guys. So yeah, there's a lot more into it, but I feel like a lot of it wasn't about Abeloth. It was just about other people turning to the dark side and being corrupted, and then this person had a son, and then she was trying to corrupt them and all this. And I just thought, I'll just talk about Abeloth's story, you know, about how she was the mother and all this. But yeah, so basically I think she drove many Jedi users insane because she was like calling out to them and saying that there would be this like they would have this power if they freed her and all that, but it's all just a ploy to but she is basically one of the most scariest things in Star Wars because obviously how she looks, but also like the amount of power she has and the fact that she could like she can teleport, she can go into people's minds, then she can sort of possess other people as well. Like it is very creepy, and I definitely wouldn't want to bump into this person. But anyway, moving on. So nicer picture for you guys to look at if you're watching.
Bring back Abeloth.
So this is from Ahsoka. Basically, there's a scene towards the end where Balaam, sadly, he passed away in real life. So I'm really hoping there's a way of bringing him back. But
there's talk of him being recast, and I do feel a bit bad because it's like I did really like Ray Stevenson's performance as Balaam.
Yeah.
Just very sad that you know, it happened, but
Oh,
you know,
no, no.
that's life.
But so in the scene, Balin, he can be seen like standing on this rock, and you're sort of like, where is he? But he's on Peridia. But then it sort of like zooms out, and then you see like the father's like face, and then next to it's got the son's sort of statue, and then the daughter is missing her head, but obviously she, if you've seen the Clone Wars episode, basically she ends up accidentally getting stabbed by the
Son.
by the sword. Yeah.
The mortis blade.
Yes. But then Ahsoka's in trouble, so Anakin is like, you gotta save her, and then she puts like the remaining sort of bit of her light side powers into Ahsoka. And then she passes away, the daughter does, and Ahsoka lives. But this is why there's this little owl that follows Ahsoka around, because it's like Ahsoka has this last little bit of the daughter's like life in her. So yeah. But anyway, so Balin is stood on the father's like finger, and he's pointing out in front of him to something. And Balin keeps mentioning during the series like something is calling out to him with this immense power, and
It's got to be. It's got
to be something to do with Abeloth, because you know they wouldn't put these statues in there for no reason at all. Like they're dragging something into it. But also, what is the father pointing to in this scene? Is he pointing towards where he's locked Abeloth away? You know, what is he pointing towards? And you know, is there a reason? But also, is it Abeloth that is calling out to
He
Balin?
could also just be pointing, going, "Oh, look at that."
Yeah, it could be something so simple. So I don't know. Maybe we will see Abeloth in Ahsoka at some point. That would be quite cool. And probably very scary as well. But
I believe they are sort of filming season 2 next year.
I mean, they haven't name dropped Abeloth at all in the Ahsoka series, but you know, something with immense power calling out to Balin. It sounds a bit too like familiar for it to not be that sort of thing. Like I know Abeloth is kind of legend, but
there was also lots of heavy rumors that Abeloth is going to be in season 2. Like there's lots of rumors.
Yeah,
they came out as soon as like the series finished, really, wouldn't it? You know, but we'll have to wait and see. But no, she is very creepy.
Very
last
creepy.
look at her. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy Halloween.
Okay.
So now Will's topic is Death Troopers.
So you guys have
not
been
the black costumes, the Death Troopers novel.
Yes.
Which is Zombie Stormtroopers.
So you guys know me by now. You know how much I love the Death Troopers novel. So good. But as it's Halloweeny, why don't we talk about the zombie stormtroopers from the Death Troopers and the Death Troopers novel? Because it's Halloween. We talk about zombies.
Yes.
So the book is written by Joe Schreiber. It came out in 2009 in October. So it came out in October. It's 265 pages long. It's set in one BBY. What's BBY?
Before the Battle of Yavin.
Yes. So,
which, if you didn't know, was episode 4. They blew up the Death Star.
Yes. So that's 0 BBY. So this is a year before A New Hope. So the prison barge ship, the Purge, is on its way to like a prison colony. I can't remember where it is, but it's on its way there, and it experiences some mechanical problems, some like engine failure sort of stuff, and they come across a Star Destroyer. So they obviously try making contact with the Star Destroyer, to which there is no reply. So they are like, that's a bit odd. It's a bit strange. So they send over like a boarding party, a couple of stormtroopers, and I believe it's like an engineer and stuff like that. So they send it over, and they soon realise that the station is derelict. There's no one about, which is odd in itself. You know, why is there a Star Destroyer out and about in space with no one on it? And then they come across the like science labs, and realise that this Star Destroyer wasn't exactly a normal Star Destroyer, so we say, and that they were performing like experiments on it, and different scientific, you know, the normal sort of stuff that you get in zombie films and media. Scientists working on a cure or some sort of bio weapon, and it goes wrong. You know, that's that's how it normally works, isn't it? So basically, the stormtroopers and the like engineers and that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they come back onto the like prison ship, and they start like coughing and like get like really ill. So they go to the medical like facility on the ship, and the doctor there performs tests on them and realizes like they're dead. They're dead, like sort of thing. But then she's like, "Oh, I'm infected now." But then she realizes as well that she's actually immune to the dangers. So, but what has happened then is the
jump scare for you guys.
So then what has happened is obviously this has been brought on the ship, and the crew, the stormtroopers on there, the prisoners, they all start becoming infected. So yeah, it's all like, oh dear. So
you just end up with like hundreds of zombie stormtroopers.
But there's also the zombie stormtroopers and officers on the Star Destroyer. You couldn't find them. But what I do really like about this story is on this ship is Han Solo and Chewie.
Oh wow.
So they're on it, and again, I can't remember it exactly, and I'm not just going to read the book out for you, but like they have to make their way onto the Star Destroyer to like try and escape, because they're like, surely there's going to be like a ship that we can fly out of, sort of thing. So now they're trying to avoid all these zombies and stuff, and you know, they come across obviously that it is Project Blackwing, which is again a secret experimental thing by the Emperor to like, you know, create dead, you know, undead soldiers, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it went wrong and stuff like that. But they are so creepy, aren't they?
Yeah.
These zombie stormtroopers, like, look at them.
Yeah.
So they're all like, oh, it's just horrible. So what I'm going to show you. So this is one of the night troopers from Ahsoka. Now, in the Ahsoka series, they adapted technically the Death Troopers story into the Night Troopers in a way. So Death Troopers is Legends, so it's not canon, but as you've seen in other media that they've brought over, this is
the canon sort of version.
This is how they've incorporated it into it. So all these Night Troopers are like already like either dead, clearly, and then they sort of get killed by like Ezra and Ahsoka and Sabine.
It's more so like the witches have like put their spell on them to rise them up from the dead, sort of thing, rather than like an experiment gone wrong.
Yeah. So then after they've took them all out, the Night Mothers use their like magic, and all these troopers that have been like slain, their eyes go like green, and they are now like zombies.
Yeah.
And I was like, when we were watching it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Death Troopers. I was like, it's actual Death Troopers.
Yeah.
So for me, that was really cool to see that they incorporated it. And again, they look really cool because I know like the eyes in the helmet look a bit like spooky.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes sense with the like Night Trooper magic, Night Sister magic, sorry, that like they're back from the dead. I just think it was very cleverly done, and I think we're not going to get a Death Troopers film or series, so for them to incorporate it this way, because at the end of the day, these troopers are like still out there because of the ending of Ahsoka, so there could be more to do with it,
but also like what makes it even more like well done is how their armor is like all cracked and they've got like the red sort of bandages, but it looks kind of like sort of blood. It's very, they've taken inspiration from like the zombie like beaten up kind of troopers.
Yeah.
But it's done in like a really cool way.
But they also as well do a very big nod to the book itself. So there is a couple of Death Troopers, the ones in the black armor, that are obviously these like zombies, and there's this one that has like Sabine and like pins her up against the like the wall. But I love how like his helmet bit gets broken, and you see like his zombie face. But what is he? He's a Death Trooper.
Yeah.
So this is a literal Death Trooper.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's a trooper. But he's also a Death Trooper. He's a zombie.
He's a zombie.
So for me, this is like, this is their big nod to the book, in my opinion, because it's a zombie, but he's a Death Trooper. So it's a Death Trooper. And he looks so cool. I love this bit when he was like, you can see like his face, and it's like, oh, it's so creepy, but looks so cool as well, like in the helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, zombie stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So, I hope we see more of them. There is also a game developer who has created he's basically created Death Troopers, but in a game form. And the footage that I've seen of people playing it, it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Like, if you picture like a zombie Star Wars game, this is what it is. It is freaky zombies. Like,
you're literally like running around a ship, picking up items similar to like sort of Jedi Fallen Order, or like, but mixed in with like a sort of Silent Hill, Resident Evil vibe, because you go around picking up things and all of a sudden there's a zombie there, like, but it's it's a stormtrooper.
And
But
they're
he's,
all
covered
like
in blood
looking.
and-
Oh, it's horrible. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
very
cleverly
cool.
done.
Yeah.
But I know I've said this millions of times. Definitely go read or listen to the audiobook, especially the audiobook version of Death Troopers.
Yeah.
So good because the like
Because
noise.
you can hear like the space noise and the engine.
Yeah, there's like the hum of the engine, like,
Yeah.
and then you can hear like,
And like,
yes, it's so,
yeah.
so good. Oh, I love it. Very spooky.
Spooky dookies.
Right, shall we do Troopers of the Week?
Yes.
Okay.
So our 2 Troopers of the Week this week are both zombie Death Troopers,
Yes.
zombie stormtroopers, that we found on TikTok.
No, again, I think we might have
spooky.
shown these before. I feel like we've shown them, but they're still very cool.
Yeah.
I don't really know whether to give them that one because it's like just a zombie trooper. But so we have this guy looking very cool. Like this is like Death Troopers book zombie. You see what I mean? Like
I love how he's got the walk and everything though as well. Like
he's got like blood all over him, his helmet. Like, oh, that's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very.
And that
cool.
was at MCM London as well.
Yes, last year.
Yeah.
So that was put up by Essex Trooper. Very cool. And then this is your one. Jeez, look
I
at
thought
that.
this one was so cool because it's got like the zombie mask, and then he's also got like a sort of smoke effect coming out of the mask from like probably like the respirator and stuff, but because the mask is broken. And he's got the lights and everything. It just looks so cool.
It's so brutal. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So that was by chance.
Yeah. Dog Toro Games on TikTok. But yeah, very cool and so creative as well because like the amount of effort he would have had to put in like a smoke machine in the mask and like the lights and then make the mask and then the helmet on top. Very cool and very creative.
Yes.
And I bet he was boiling hot in that.
It's smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool zombie troopers there.
Yeah. Why not show some zombie troopers for Halloween?
And if you are doing any cool Star Wars Halloween characters today or tonight,
Yes.
send us your pics.
Yes.
And maybe we'll showcase them on our Instagram later.
Yeah.
Show off some of the cool, spooky Star Wars costumes. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we have meme of the week. This was your pick this week, and
Yes.
you've gone for the Halloween theme.
Yeah. So it says moments after Luke left with Obi-Wan, and it's the Lars homestead, and it says Spirit Halloween. It was funny because like there is these Spirit Halloween pop-up shops in America, and I really wish we had a Spirit Halloween over here because when I went to America, it was like such a cool shop. You just had every single costume you could think of, and they even had like home decor stuff there as well, and like like pillows or even like the animatronics. So not just costumes, they got these like animatronic spiders or zombies, and you like step on a thing on the floor and then they like jump out at you. And I just thought it was such a cool shop. And yeah, you go there and there's just any sort of mask or like props. You can get like prop hammers or axes, jumpers. There's just so much there. But there are these like pop-up shops. So whenever there's like an empty store, then they'll pop up there. Like they're usually not in like the same place every year. But yeah, I wish we had them in the UK because they're so cool.
Yeah, I've seen some videos and they do look very cool.
Yeah. But this meme of the week is after Luke and Obi-Wan leave the Lara's homestead, then Spirit Halloween pops up. It's October again. So very cool. Well, I think actually
Plus the skeletons.
I think they start at in August or July or something. They're so early to Halloween in America, but it's very.
Do you reckon it's also because of the skeletons?
Oh, that might be.
Moments after Luke left with Obi-Wan.
The skeletons outside the Lara's homestead make it look like a Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You don't see it in this
I'm
picture,
blowing it
but
up my room.
they're part of the decor now.
Oh no, I didn't think of that. But now you say it, I'm like,
That's why.
Well, maybe it wasn't actually them. Maybe it wasn't Uncle and Aunt Brew. Maybe they went to Spirit Halloween and they put them outside.
Oh, we'll make it look like we've been.
We'll disguise ourselves from the Empire as Spirit Halloween.
Very cool.
Very cool.
But
yeah.
So that will about do it for this week's episode. We hope you've enjoyed our spooky episode.
Yes.
Learning about Abeloth and Death Troopers.
Yes.
We will be back next week with another good episode. We haven't really decided yet what we're doing on that one, but it'll be a good one. So yeah.
I hope you have a nice Halloween if you're doing anything. If you're going trick-or-treating, if you're taking your younger siblings or your children trick-or-treating, if you're decorating for trick-or-treaters.
We're having a Star Wars marathon as like a film night, because people tend to do that. We're having a bit of a film night, aren't we?
Yeah.
So let us but again,
let us know if you're dressing up as anything.
Going down on the bottom, you can see us on our socials. If you are doing a spooky Star Wars themed party or event or costume, let us know down below. Send us a picture, and we will post them on our socials later. All the best ones. So from me, guys, may the force be with you.